Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. Welcome to part 2 of building a MOC from start to finish, and the project that I'm currently working on is a remock. Basically, I'm taking 3 Harry Potter sets to create a large church or cathedral. I'm using 2 sets of the Hogwarts Great Hall and 1 set of the Hogwarts Clock Tower. And this is what I've got so far. If you missed out the progress, do check out video 1, which you can find in the link above or the description below. So I'm working on a custom base plate measuring 32 studs by 48 studs. This is a standalone building. It is going to be minifig scale, and the clock tower is going to be used as the front of the church, and 2 sets of the Great Hall will be used to create the rest of the church or the main body. The challenge is to fit these 2 builds together seamlessly, and one thing I want to do is to take the main door of the Great Hall, that's this one right over here, and I want to integrate it with the front of the clock tower, because I think a large church or cathedral needs to have grand doors. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to try to take this and integrate it with this, and hopefully no one dies. So let's get started. So here is where we're at. The sizing is not right. I'm 1 stud off. I need to push this board by 1 stud. But if I do that, I think it might work. I was considering taking part of this. I do need some horizontal supports from this side of the Great Hall. I haven't even touched this mirror side yet because there's no need to, but I will in order to have a cross brace here. But I think I've made progress. It is going to be a bit tricky, but it seems that at least I think these integrate well enough. This is not stable, that's why it's not opening and closing properly, but we have something. I will need to switch out some of the bricks to have these ornate bricks so that I can put them just to give it a more decorative feel. But I think conceptually it works. Maybe I will even raise this up slightly like that so I don't block so much of those netted windows. So let's see if that's possible. So what I've done over here is to just build this entire part, including the door hinge, which I'm going to just pull out so that you can see. I've tried to build this together. There will still need to be bricks, for example, maybe this 3-way brick over here, just to lock it in place. So now at least this entire portion is pretty much secure. I'm not going to worry about decorations and all so much now. I can do that later. I just want the structural support. So now that I've got this built, I have to do the same for this area over here. Then I'll try to raise up this area by maybe 1 brick high, and we'll see what happens. So I've finally made good progress in mirroring these builds and making it solid. I will still have to raise it up just a bit because this is where the front will be. I will need to put the plates, but overall I think we're in good shape. I'm going to end the video at this part. So really the lesson learned here is figuring out how to integrate the builds to mirror each other, and of course to integrate two different builds. This will not be here. In fact, I don't think this is the right part. I have one more here. That's the one, because I put in this top. But that's basically the plan. I still do intend to raise this up at least, well, if I can, maybe by 2 bricks high. And I'll save that for the next part. Offline, what I've done is to neaten up the build structurally on the inside. I should be able to complete it by this video. And I've also figured out exactly how to lay this out. I did change the plates and the tiles from black to this tan color because I think it fits better. The black original base plates, or the plating that I did for the footprint, was just too stark and stood out too much, so I think this is better. What else did I do in terms of just cleaning up the inside so that it's structurally more stable? And I did also add in this part as well, and this is basically a kind of a mirror image, and I used basically the parts from the other Great Hall to create this kind of an archway and a support for the main part of what the church or cathedral will be. So what I want to do now is to complete the front facade, which is going to be quite easy because these are parts from the original Great Hall. This is going to come here and this will come here, just like that. And over here we have this front piece which comes here, and just like that we've got some kind of a facade. I will add texturing all around, but that will only be done really towards the end of this build process. I'll also be adding door handles so that it's easier to open the doors. Now over here I have figured out exactly what I need to do. Previously I'd already thought of adding in columns, and I'm using these round curved panel pieces, and this is available in both the clock tower as well as the Great Hall, and I'll stack them up in 3. There's a nice print over here, and that will work pretty well, and that basically will come in just like that, and that I think works nicely. Originally I thought whether this would come in too much just because of the different sizing of the builds, but I think this actually works quite nicely. So I'll do the same for the other side. And this will also work into the modular nature of the build that I'm trying to go for, because I do want the MOC to have the ability to open up so that we can access the interior. And this is what I've come up with. There are really 3 parts which can open up. I figure that I will take the roof from the other sets of the Great Hall, and that will be placed here. So the roof can actually hinge up. So just think of another roof over here that hinges up, and the entire wall over here will be the mirror image of the side of the Great Hall here. And I will design it such that it can just pop off. That's why I have jumper plates over here. It would just stand in place. I'm not sure if I have to do any other overhangs or support, so I'll figure that out when we get to that stage. But the idea is I can just lift up the roof and pop up this entire wall, and you can see the inside. Likewise for here, the idea is to create a modular style roof. So I have taken out that clock mechanism where you can turn the gear so that the hands move. Not so important in my particular build. And what I'm going to do is create this whole section, this top section here where the clock is, to be a removable floor. And there'll be tiles over here, maybe with a jumper plate, and the top of these curved panels will act as the studs as well, so it would hold that level in place. So I'll have to raise it up by probably 2 plates, and when I remove that, I can also just remove this, and this will give me lots of light inside and also allows me to access the interior as needed. I haven't decided how I'm going to decorate the interior. That I always leave to the last part of the video, but structurally that is what I'm going for. So in this video, what I like to do is to do this particular level that will be modular. So let's get started. So what I've done here is to create the floor of this top modular section that I'm going for, which is this top floor where the clock tower is. As you can see, there is this particular curved part that matches that. I didn't have this in dark tan, so this is my own part here that I had to take from my parts bin. I'd only had them in black, so I'll use black for now. Might change them in time to come if I get the parts. If not, it's still functional and we still can get away with it because there are some black elements for this build. So what I need to do now is to transfer this entire build onto this. I've managed to figure out how to transplant everything over to the base because the shape of the base is a bit different. I had to do a bit of reconfiguration with this clock over here by adding bricks and plates, but it wasn't too bad. So that works. I'll put back the hand onto the clock and put everything together, and we'll continue building the back of this floor. What I need to do now is to plate and then tile this portion, and there are two reasons to do that. One, I have to make it the same level as this curved panel piece, and also I need to create a support so that I can place this on top and it would hold just like a modular building. So I will need tiles and some jumper plates. I've added in plates and tiles. There's a jumper plate here, so this forms the support for this level over here. Let's see if it actually works. So I'm going to put this together. Oh, I do need to put in, yeah, the back that goes there. It definitely does fit. So the question is, what sort of bite or clutch power do we have? Okay, there's nothing in front. Possibly the position of this is wrong. I think I'll need to take a dark tan plate and put it on this side over here. I don't have a dark tan 1x4 jumper plate, so I'll just use that light tan one over here, and I'll take a light tan towel and just put it back over here. It still works with the color scheme, and I think it's hidden by the clock anyway, so let's see if that fits better. Okay, so there's no bite over there, and that's just due to the way this is. So I have to rethink this, and I have to probably have to put the jumper plate over here. So maybe I'll take studs and tiles. That fits much better, and that's a very solid fit. And that works well for me, I think. Now, I don't think I'll build any access to the inside over here. I guess maybe later on, should I decide, I could build this such that there's a hole and there's a ladder so that you can climb up to this room. Maybe it's a secret room. I guess I could do that, but then I'll have to think about how to make this section modular. Let me remove this first and see if I can adjust this to create a hole. So that pulls off just like that, and I can remove this to access the interior. So that's really nice, I think. Simple in design, but very effective. Now, if I look at this, I could possibly create some kind of a ladder system over here. I could take out this plate, and there's just enough room for a ladder. So why don't I just do that in anticipation for creating a secret room here? I mean, there's no point not having a room, and no point not using up the space. After all, this is where the clock is, right? So technically, even from the perspective of the minifigs and the structure of this building, there should be access to the inner workings of a clock. So I am going to remove this plate here, and hopefully I still can tile up this area over here effectively, so that I have a little hole for minifigs to climb up. If there was an abrupt cut, I apologize because my SD card was full, but in any case, I have completed that little access point over here. I do not know how I'm going to put the ladder just yet, but not so important for now. At least there's access here. What I do need to do now is to create the back. And I've got some ideas for that. I do want to use one of these cone pieces and pillars to create a nice looking curved back. It gives a lot of texture to it. So let's work on that. I think this works so well. I'm really happy with this particular design. It is very firm. I'm not sure if I even need to cover this. I could easily put in some kind of a wall, which I could just remove if I need. But I think it's fine to have this open as well, because sometimes in these old churches, they do want to have a lookout. Maybe you need some kind of a safety barrier here. But by and large, I think I will leave this as it is, because I do like the look, and then we can just see the inside without worrying too much about taking out stuff and just making it too complicated. And I do have little steps here where I can put different things, and it does kind of match the architecture. If not, I could also just put wedge pieces like this, for example. Let's use these cheese wedge pieces. I'll have to get more, but that's basically the idea. So that might actually work. So let's put this back. We'll worry about the clock itself first. So let's put this here. That fits very well. And that looks, I think, pretty impressive. Definitely I'll need to do some kind of a low wall here so no one drops and dies. Not sure if I have curved bricks, but that's something I definitely can look at. And over here we have the clock this way, which will go in. And I think it's shaping up pretty nice. I'm going to end this video here because I think we made good progress. I do need to cover this up here. That'll be easy enough. That'll just be a wall that's built here, and then I can put the roof. But what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to build up this wall over here, and I have to make it modular so that can be removed. And maybe offline I'll just add in this small wall. Alright, I think we're all good. I hope you enjoyed this particular part of the video of building this MOC from start to finish. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Check out these two videos before you go.